Hey, Kansas Dragons, Dragon King 551, and no, this is not a Michigan breakdown video as of right now. That one will be out at another time. As of right now, we're going to do what we learned from week 9. Now, I've seen people do this on college football playoff and on TikTok and all of that, and they do this wacko trend. That's not what I'm going to do. First things first, let's look at what the AP rankings have just said, and we're going to look at what some people predict for the college football playoff. Now, hear me out. I have my team, the Maize and Blue, and I know what a lot of people are going to say when I bring out three games that were upsetted and what we learned from these three games, because these were the big games from yesterday. First off, my Maize and Blue team, my Michigan Wolverines, got the job done in Rutgers, in New Brunswick, 52 to 17. Great game for them, open it up for JJ McCarthy a little bit, get two touchdowns, do his thing. That's not what we're talking about, though. They have jumped one team, which is as of right now, the AP has put them at 3. They jumped from 5 up to 3 as Clemson lost. But for me, it's very controversial because I want to not try to be biased to anyone that's an Ohio State fan or anyone that listens on my videos or watches them and is someone that's an Ohio State fan or an MSU fan or any of those that are rivals. In no way, shape, or form am I going to try to be negative to you guys. All credit to you. All credit to the Ohio State fans. Obviously, I know Michigan State fans. You guys are having a rough year and stuff, and I don't know what went wrong this year for you guys. I'm really not too sure why you are just the way you are this year. Not really. I haven't watched a single game, so I'm not really too sure, except for the Michigan MSU game. But the point is that the reason I'm bringing and addressing these Ohio State fans is, guys, I don't want to talk badly about you guys, but from my understanding with Northwestern game, it was 55 mile per hour winds. And I believe it was 50 degrees with rain and stuff. And look, yeah, you won 21-7. A win's a win, but it's a different type of win. Yes, I know you can compare the Ohio State and Michigan Rutgers games where, yeah, Michigan won by a 35-point deficit, 52-17, whereas Ohio State won 49-10 and stuff, and that's a 39 points, so it's a 4-point difference. That's not the point. The point is that, yes, I know what you're saying. Anyone can't play well in 55 miles per hour wind and stuff. True, I'll grant you that. But here's my problem. It seems to me that a lot of analysts, and not me personally, I haven't watched any of Ohio's tape except for maybe a little bit of Northwestern and the Penn State game, is they can't really run the ball and they're one-dimensional. I don't know why, but for some reason it works well for Ohio State. Didn't work well for Michigan. We've always been a run heavy team and stuff. We've always been that spread offense, what you want to call it. But that one year, the COVID year when Michigan tried to be one-dimensional for passing the ball, we sucked. And I guess it works pretty well for Ohio State. But I'm saying when you're one-dimensional and you don't have that run game aspect, you're going to probably win in a closer matchup. And you only won by 14 points. But granted, it's still a win. I'll give you that. But I don't know. Should Michigan jump over Ohio State? I'll leave it to the people in the comments section. I don't want to bash heads here and then just go at it with one of you guys. So for me, I don't know. I'll put them at 3. I could have put them at 2. But there's a lot of stuff that I am going to talk about in the Michigan video about Joe Klatt and all of that stuff of what he believes and stuff, because that's more of a Michigan-based stuff. This is about just the college football playoff and what happened with these upsets and what we learned from week 9. But before I get into all of this mumbo jumbo with the upsets, let's go through the AP and the college football playoff ranking predictions. So first off, you got over here, this is the AP that just came out now. And, this is where they have them. I believe this. Yeah, so this is where we have them. Now, I don't not know why they said we moved up one spot. That's not accurate because they said Tennessee and Ohio State were tied at 2 and stuff. But they really weren't. And, Ohio State was still 2. Clemson was 4. We were 5 sitting out. Tennessee dropped, TCU moved up. They deserve to move up here. But yeah, you got Michigan at 3 finally. That's going to be a good matchup. If Michigan can continue to play well, and Ohio State, I guess it will be number 2 versus number 3. Good matchup, ultimately can't really disagree. But Alabama gets floored, drops 4 spots. I don't know why they say 4. It really should be 5 or something. They should have dropped to 11 because they were at 7. They should drop 4, so that's 11 and stuff. Add 4. I don't know why they're saying only 3. Whatever. LSU moved up. Now, a lot of people say that LSU could make it, but I think it's more Tennessee is the team that will make it into the college football playoff if TCU cannot keep their high streak. But what I would love to see is that if it happens, this is what, and again, no way in shape or form I'm not trying to bash Ohio State or Michigan. This game right here, these two teams, whoever wins is most likely going to be into the college football playoff. So my thing is that I would love to see one SEC team, one Big Ten team and stuff. Obviously, I would love it if it's my Michigan Wolverines because, I got to be a little bit biased and loyal to my fans. Can't say it's Ohio State because I don't really like Ohio State, but I try to keep myself neutral in that aspect and not try to go crazy fan base and be like F you all the time and stuff. And if it's one of these Big Ten teams, then I think I'll take TCU. I think Oregon could jump over Tennessee. I hope it's not 2 SEC teams. I've said in the past, though, if 2 SEC teams can make the playoffs, I don't see why 2 Big Ten teams can't, but we'll see what happens. And let's go right here. So this is the college. I believe this is what the committee says going into week 11, even though for Michigan, it's week 9, they're 9-0 or whatever. Whatever. So the point is that here we go. Georgia at 9-0. I mean, 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, Tennessee 4, which I just do not see Tennessee being 4 in the college football playoff. I think TCU is really going to jump over them, and then we got this. Alabama's at 9. I don't really see that either. I think they should drop more spots, but we'll see what happens. So that's that. We'll see where these teams lie on Tuesday, and we'll see what happens. But I think Michigan definitely moved up and deserved it. But let's talk about this stuff right here. This is the information I got from what I watched on tape. Now, I really couldn't watch all of these games because I was at that game and stuff, and it was very exciting to watch that and, watch my boys play. And it's always fun to go to the environment and watch them. Now, I'll talk about that in another video, and I'll talk about in the Michigan video what happened there and what went wrong and stuff. So from week 9, what we learned from week 9, let's see. Clemson is not them. They are overrated. And DJ, oh my God, I'm going to butcher his name, and I apologize for any Clemson fans. Ugalasha, whatever his name is, DJ U. I'm just going to call him U, DJ U. I don't even know his last name. I don't know how to pronounce this very hard name. Is not that good. Now, granted, yes, he did throw the ball 27 for 39, 69%. Not bad, but he did throw an interception. He didn't play his best game. They got killed 35-14. This is what I'm talking about. I've said this twice in other videos on TikTok and on YouTube. There are 2 different aspects. First, you cannot have a mindset of thinking it's a cakewalk. You cannot go in there and believing that. That's what happened with Michigan in the first half. They believe, and granted, we're always a second half team, but we went in there believing we're going to have a quick cakewalk against Rutgers. The first half we did. In the second half, I don't know what happened to Rutgers. They fell asleep. The point is kind of like the Indiana game where Indiana scored no points for the 3rd and 4th quarter. Don't really understand. But here it is. And you can't constantly play or consistently play close games and expect to win week after week. I told this before. If if Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, or Clemson, those 4 teams play close games, they're going to lose one. And you know what happened? Clemson played close games, and then they got exposed by a 5-3 team as fraudulent because they didn't play their game. They went into the second part of playing close wasn't the factor this week. It was having the mindset of thinking it's going to be a cakewalk. We're going to win this game, no problem. That's your problem. The game is about I think like 60 to 70% physicality, and the other percentage of like 20 to 30% or whatever. I'm sorry, no, I'm 40 to 30% is your mindset. Now remember, guys, I believe there was an Olympic champion for gymnastics for the US team, and she said, I just did not feel ready to compete. My mindset was just not in it. And remember, you can have a mindset where it's bad. There are four mindsets to have in the football and basketball world. You feel good, you go in, you knock down all your shots, you feel great, you're knocking down all your shots, you're doing well. You feel shit, you play like crap and stuff. You play crappy. You feel crappy, you play good. You feel good, you play crappy. Those are your four mindsets that you could go in there and stuff. You feel great, you feel confident, but then you just play horrible. Now here it is. Georgia upsets Tennessee 27-13. Now 14 points. Again, that's kind of close. You play a close, you're eventually going to lose. Tennessee played another close game. What did they do? They lost. They got boned on that one. They lost. And finally, what we learned from week 9, Bama hopes and dreams of winning a natty or making the playoffs is over. You had your time in the spotlight. Your time is coming to an end, Nick Saban. I don't believe you're going to win another one for a very long time. LSU upsets the number 7 team in the country, 2 close games in a row for Bama, and they lost both. Can't play close all the time or you will lose. You cannot play close games all the time. And it's funny because LSU did the same thing they did 3 years ago and knocked Bama out of the playoffs when they had Tua. So there you go, guys. You cannot play close games and expect to win. You got to blow teams out, or you got to be up at least 2-3 touchdowns at that point. You cannot play close games. It doesn't work. And I've said it before, if Clemson was such a good team, they would have never played a close game against Syracuse. They would have not played a close game against Wake Forest. They would have not played a close game against NC State. What did they do? They play a close game against NC State, only win by 10 points. They go against Wake Forest, they win by a touchdown. They go against freaking Syracuse, they win by a touchdown. They go against Notre Dame expecting the mindset that they're going to have a cakewalk and win the game. They lose because they believe that. That's the problem with Clemson. And I've told you time and time before, they're not as good because they believe they're trying to hold on to that resume of the Deshaun Watson era and the Trevor Lawrence era. Those days are gone, man. They're in the NFL. You don't have those quarterbacks. You got to find a new guy fast because DJ is not it. He's not winning you a national championship. And I think you're out of the playoffs. Your hopes are dwindling. And I personally believe that UNC is going to come out of the woodwork and probably knock them off as well. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one, which will be the Michigan video. But as I said before, this is what we learned from week 9.